When the meaning of life is lost, there's nothing but despair. I, Alina Shumska, had finally become a mother. After difficult labor, I anxiously waited to see my newborn son for the first time. When will they bring him to me? I wondered, feeling the ache in my breasts. Is this normal? Why do my breasts hurt so much? I asked the nurse. Is this your first child? She inquired. Yes, my first. My long-awaited child, I replied. Everyone told me that having a baby at 38 was too late, but I was determined. My husband called me a bit crazy. He tried to discourage me, worried there would be problems due to my age. My pregnancy was very difficult, but I carried through and delivered. The midwife in the delivery room gasped, "What a big boy!" Just then, a doctor entered my room. "Hello, Mother. I'm Pavel Petrovich, the chief physician of the maternity hospital. You must be Alina Shumska." I immediately sensed something was wrong. Is something wrong with my baby? Please try to stay calm, he said. We did everything we could. I'm very sorry. No, no, show me my child, I cried out. The medical staff froze, then quickly gave me a sedative as I kept demanding, "Give me my baby." I still can't recall that day without shuddering. It seemed my life had ended, and everything that happened in the following days was like being in a fog. A few days later, completely exhausted by grief, I was picked up from the maternity hospital by my husband, Andrei. The day I had been waiting for so many years became perhaps the most terrible nightmare of my life. "Darling, everything will be fine," Andrei said. "Now we'll go home. I'll run you a warm bath. You'll relax." "Andrei, what are you talking about?" "What bath? Relax? Are you in your right mind?" I snapped. "I just wanted to support you." "Darling, give me our son to hold. I can't let him go." "I know I'm silly," he said awkwardly. "This is my child. Give him back to me. Give him back." I suddenly shouted at a passing woman with a baby. "Get away from me, you crazy woman," the woman yelled. "Are you out of your mind?" "Get away," her husband added. "Can't you see that this is our son?" "Give me my child," I kept demanding. "I'm sorry. We've had a great tragedy." "Our son died," Andrea apologized to the couple. "I'm sorry, please. Come on, let's go. Get away from these people." I couldn't explain what came over me. It was some kind of darkness. I didn't understand what I was doing, but I couldn't control myself. And this was just the beginning. Several weeks passed after the tragedy, but I still couldn't pull myself together. This greatly worried my husband. "I made pancakes for you, the way you like them, with sour cream. Maybe you'll eat something?" he offered. "Thank you. I'm not hungry." "That's not right. You haven't eaten anything since yesterday." "Really, I can't swallow a bite." "Listen, if you don't want pancakes, let's order sushi." "You love sushi, I know. Throughout your pregnancy, you didn't eat any." "Forgive me. I said something stupid without thinking." He apologized immediately. "You didn't want this child. That's why everything turned out this way," I accused him. "You tried to talk me out of having a baby. And now everything is as you wanted. That's too much. Think about what you're saying. I'm grieving too. I lost my son. He tried to embrace me. Everything, little one, we'll get through this together. Together, everything will work out." Though I didn't admit it, Andrew's support was very important to me. I was grateful for his patience, but I had no idea about the reasons behind his behavior then. My husband's care and attention did produce results. He even managed to convince me to take a walk in the park, but he should have chosen a different place. "This is your favorite spot. That's why I brought you here," he said. "Look, you're already smiling, which means I'm doing everything right. And now we'll go to our favorite place, where I proposed to you." But when we arrived, I heard children's laughter, and it broke me. I can't bear to hear this. I will never be happy again. No one will ever call me Mom. I'm such a fool. Wait here. I'll run and bring you some water, Andrew said. He tried so hard to cheer me up, and I was terribly ashamed for breaking down again, but I couldn't help it. My heart was being torn to pieces. After calming down a bit, I went looking for my husband. I had no idea what unexpected encounter awaited me. I ran into the same woman from the maternity hospital. Excuse me, I see you recognize me too. What do you want? Step away from me, please. Don't be afraid, I said. I just wanted to apologize for that incident at the maternity hospital. I lost my child, and it was such a blow that my nerves couldn't handle it. Poor thing, I can imagine what you're feeling now. God forbid anyone should experience this. I know this pain. I also lost a child 2 years ago. Difficult childbirth. Doctors saved only me. They couldn't save the baby in time. Just then, her husband approached. What do you want, Saroja? Go away. I just came to apologize. We were just talking, right? Look at her. She's not herself, the man said to Andrei. What if she attacks Mishenka again? What's wrong with your wife? Take her away and get out of here, or I won't be responsible for my actions. Quiet, quiet, we're leaving, Andrei said. I was confused and offended. I didn't recognize my husband, who apologized so humiliatingly. It wasn't like Andrei. At home, he continued to clarify the situation, which genuinely bewildered me. Can you explain why you're angry with me? I asked. Did you see yourself? That man called me crazy, and you were still apologizing to him. You were really behaving abnormally, Alia. Remember what you did at the maternity hospital? Why did you go back to them? To apologize for what I did. Alia, I'm begging you. I demand that you stay as far away from them as possible. I'm struggling like a fish out of water, and you don't want to get a grip on yourself. You just don't try to understand what's happening to me and what I'm feeling. I think it's you who doesn't see how much I'm doing to preserve our family. Our family? I guess you just don't need it. At that moment, it seemed to me that the whole world was against me, and Andrew simply took off, leaving me alone with this grief. To avoid falling into even greater despair, I decided to busy myself with household chores. But I wasn't alone for long. Alka, what now? Did you cut your finger? Andrew had returned. Badly? Let me see. My poor thing. Everything, calm down. To cheer you up a bit, I thought of something. Look, what is this? It's a vacation package for 5 days, a 5-star hotel, palm trees, sea, fresh air, all inclusive. Andriusha, just the two of us? This must be terribly expensive. Where did you get such money? I took it from the card, from our joint account, the one we were saving money for the baby on. Alia, we don't need it anymore now. The main thing now is to get you back on your feet, to rehabilitate you after the shock. I'm not going anywhere. How could you think of such a thing? Enough. I'm tired of this too. I just wanted to pull you out of depression, but I see that whatever I do, it's all wrong. Are you leaving me? Yes, I'll live with my mother for a while, until you come to your senses, until you figure everything out yourself. At that moment, it seemed to me that he was right, and I needed to pull myself together. If only I had known that I needed to figure out completely different things than my feelings. I sank deeper and deeper into my depression until a caring person came to my aid. My husband's sister, little sister-in-law. I see my brother wasn't exaggerating. You really don't want to return to life. Andrei, as my husband, could have not run away from home, but supported me. Do you know what he said to me? That I should figure everything out myself, and for 3 days, he hasn't even called. That means he doesn't care. What are you saying? He's completely on edge and terribly worried. It seems to me that he's afraid of losing you. I don't care anymore. Don't say that. I know you love him, and he loves you. He even agreed to this pregnancy for your sake because you wanted it so much, but he didn't need a child. No, that's not the point. He was very worried about you. You're not 20 years old anymore. Calm down. He loves you. Listen, promise me you'll pull yourself together, okay? Andrew's younger sister, Yanka, was like a close friend to me. I trusted what she said about Andrew, and besides, she really wished us well. My husband's sister convinced me to start putting things in order, not only in my thoughts, but also in the apartment. However, the women had no idea that this would have a completely opposite effect. Alia, what are these documents doing in the baby clothes? I don't know. I haven't seen them before. Let me see. What's wrong with you? Andrew must have hidden them so they wouldn't catch your eye. And why did I go there? You shouldn't read this again. You're just tearing your soul apart. No, I have to read it. If I see it, maybe I can accept the thought that he's gone. I haven't even read this. Andrew was filling out all the documents at the hospital then, and I was under sedatives. I signed everything as if in a fog. As I read the documents, I was shocked. No, it can't be. What does due to numerous pathologies incompatible with life mean? I told you that you shouldn't read this. You'll get hysterical again. No, it's not about that. I clearly remember the midwife in the delivery room saying that my son was born healthy. Maybe he looked healthy, but then it turned out differently. No, throughout my pregnancy, I kept everything under control. Everything was without deviations. Where are you going? To figure all this out. I'll talk to Andrew later, everything later. I sensed that something was wrong, but everyone declared me crazy. The death certificate was signed by the chief physician of the maternity hospital, so I went with all my questions directly to him. I don't understand what you want from me, he said. I want to understand what happened to my son. It may sound cruel, but everything is written here. I personally witnessed the death of your child. He had no chance. But it says numerous pathologies. And I clearly remember even in the delivery room they told me, Mommy, you have a healthy big boy. And who told you this? The doctor who delivered the baby? No, I think it was the midwife. Exactly, the midwife. That's just it. Is she a doctor to make a diagnosis or understand whether a child is healthy or not? But even during pregnancy, everything was fine with the fetus. Let me tell you as a doctor, you're exhausted, which is normal after such a tragedy. So you're inadequately perceiving reality. You also think I've lost my mind? I just want to figure it out. I believe my son is alive, and this is some kind of mistake. There is no mistake. Stop chasing ghosts. You need to accept this pain, though it won't be easy. Here are some pills. Take 2 a day. This is a very good sedative. Perhaps I was really chasing ghosts. Everyone unanimously asserted that I needed to accept it and move on. I thought they were right. Right after the conversation with the chief physician, I decided it was enough to live with my misfortune. It was time to return to normal life. Everything would have worked out that way if not for one unexpected encounter. Wait. Hello? Tell me, were you the midwife at my delivery? Do you remember me? Yes, I remember. You had such a misfortune. How are you holding up? It's not about me. You said I gave birth to a healthy boy. The point is that the baby looked absolutely healthy. I couldn't believe it when they told me during my next shift that your little son was no more. Are you certain? Of course. With these hands, I've delivered so many babies. Just a minute ago, I almost believed I had to accept it. But after this woman's words, I realized I had to go all the way and get to the truth. I went to search for the truth with the gynecologist who had monitored my pregnancy. No, this simply can't be, she exclaimed. It can't be. I haven't lost my mind. That's right, I remember perfectly all the last ultrasounds. There wasn't even a hint of these pathologies. So you're completely sure and can confirm this if necessary? What am I now? Here in your pregnancy history are all the analyses and observations. Let's look. She examined my records. Yes, yes, here. According to the results of the last ultrasound, the fetus was 54 centimeters and weighed 4,600 grams. That's a big boy. But here it says 51 centimeters and 3,100 grams. This simply can't be. Compare for yourself. Look, what I heard from Natalia Olegievna convinced me I was right. Someone had stolen or switched my son. I had to find out the truth at any cost. With all the evidence of the baby's substitution, I returned to the chief physician, who just a few hours ago had assured me that a mistake was impossible. And what do you say to me now? What's wrong with you? Are you having a fit? Have you been taking the pills I prescribed? To hell with the pills. You said a logical error was excluded, and now look here, and don't pretend that you don't understand what I'm talking about. It's clear that my child was replaced with a dead one. Indeed, the data doesn't match. You got this from your gynecologist, Natalia Yavorska? Now, do you agree that an investigation should be started? I promise you that I will take everything under my control and find out. It's good that you came directly to me with these documents, Alinochka. I will figure it out. I'll keep them with me, please. Doctor, I beg you, help find my son. I will clarify everything. Finally, a glimmer of hope appeared. I saw that the chief physician wasn't lying and would take up my case, but I didn't know then what I would have to face. I returned home filled with emotions, but didn't expect that I would have someone to discuss this with, and the conversation wouldn't be simple. Andriush, you've returned, so I've earned the right. You've come alive, and the house has become cozy. Now we'll live as before, he said. You don't understand. I didn't grieve for nothing all this time. I was right. Our child is alive. They just switched him at the maternity hospital. You're at it again. That means I returned too early. I understand how this looks from the side, but I have evidence. The medical test results from my pregnancy didn't match what was written in my child's death certificate. It made no sense at all. I was hoping you'd stop digging into this already. My husband Andrew sighed. You always obsess over things. You obsessed about the pregnancy, and look what happened. So you don't believe me? The chief doctor didn't believe me either until he saw this. Let's go to the maternity hospital together tomorrow, and you'll see for yourself. I understood my husband's disbelief, but I knew once he discovered that even the doctors were on my side, he would understand it wasn't as he thought. The next day, I finally convinced Andriy to go with me to the gynecologist, but we were met with shocking news. Hello, we're here to see Dr. Natalia Olegievna. I'm conducting appointments in her place now. Please sit down. Let me see your card. Excuse me, but we need to see Natalia Olegievna. When will she be back? She won't be. She resigned. When? Why? I don't want to spread gossip. You'd better discuss this with management. Now, please let me continue my appointment. I was certain her disappearance was related to my case. Of course, I needed to get to the bottom of this. The chief doctor's response deeply shocked me and shattered what little hope I had left. Yes, doctor. Yavorska no longer works here. She was dismissed for medical negligence that harmed you, and perhaps others as well. I don't understand what you mean. Natalia Olegievna failed to diagnose fetal abnormalities in the early stages of your pregnancy, which led to a tragedy that could have been avoided. See? Andriy said. Now you're convinced. No, I don't understand. It can't be. It can't be. I take responsibility for our doctor's unprofessionalism, the chief doctor continued. But I have one request. You have the right to sue her, but I would ask you not to do so, on humanitarian grounds. I wouldn't want anyone else to be dragged into this scandal because of a colleague. You know how it is. This would just give people an excuse, and innocent people could suffer. Doctor, We won't make a fuss, Andrew said. We can't bring our son back. This won't help us. Thank you for understanding. After this conversation, I completely lost hope. I was convinced I'd been clinging to false hope. I needed to put an end to this terrible story, and perhaps Alina would have finally turned this dark page of her life if not for a strange phone call. Hello, Natalia Olahivna? No, sorry. I have no desire to meet with you. But what interesting information could you possibly share? You've already told me everything. All right. 5 o'clock works for me. I had sworn to myself not to revisit this tragedy, but Natalia begged so desperately for a meeting that I couldn't refuse her. Perhaps she wanted to apologize, but the conversation went completely differently than I expected. The doctor wasn't begging for a meeting to apologize. Understand, your pregnancy was progressing well. You should. I don't want to hear this. How much more can I take? Wait. Understand, I was fired illegally, and I can prove it. I don't understand why you asked to meet me. I don't want to dig into this anymore. It's over. Figure out your own mess. The thing is, I was accused of misdiagnosing your pregnancy, but that's not true. I can prove it, but only if I have all your documents and test results. What does that have to do with me? I gave you everything. Everything you gave me is with the chief doctor. Go to him. Wait, what? He said you took all the documents and even threatened to sue me. It was such an outright lie from the chief doctor that I began to doubt everything he had said and done. Natalia and I went to the maternity hospital, determined to find out what happened to the documents and whether we could expose the chief doctor. Haloshka, where is Pavlo Petrovich? Everyone's been looking for him today. He's on sick leave or vacation, and he won't be back for a while. If I had any doubts about the truth of Natalia's words on my way to the hospital, the chief doctor's disappearance convinced me that he was directly involved in my child's disappearance. Returning home, I wanted to consult with my husband, but when I saw Andrei, I couldn't believe my eyes. Andrei, what happened? Who did this to you? Pack your things. You need to leave town. Explain what's happening. Business competitors sent some thugs. See how they beat me up? It's like a 90s nightmare. Please, Alina, go. I can't worry about you like this, too. Andrei, I'm sorry, but I can't leave right now. I just can't. What kind of character do you have? Can you listen to me just once in your life? Understand, it turns out the chief doctor is shady. He disappeared with my documents, and they contain evidence. What evidence? You promised me. But this time it's more serious, really. Don't you understand? This is a matter of life and death. Go. Number fine. Then I'm not going anywhere either. When it came to my child, I was afraid to even face death. If only I had known that soon these wouldn't just be empty words. Despite my husband's pleas, I arranged to meet with Natalia to discuss further plans to search for my son. Later, Natalia suggested something almost insane, but I decided to take the risk. I had to figure this out. For their risky plan, the women went to the maternity hospital, having discussed all the details on the way. Who are you here to see? I came to take back the child that was stolen from me. You're not in your right mind. I'll call security and the police. Stop! Marinochka, don't call anyone, please, Natalia intervened. This is my patient. She recently lost a child and is a bit unstable. Alina, calm down, please. Everything's fine. Your child isn't here. Are you sure you can handle her? Maybe we should call security? No, we'll leave. Let's go from here. Please calm down. Of course, I took little pleasure in pretending to be crazy, and theft is terrible, but the end justifies the means. What we needed, we managed to obtain. But why did the women dare such a risky performance? It was a registration journal that listed all the information they needed about the women who gave birth. Look, you gave birth on the same day as Angela, with a 1-hour interval, and the information about the babies has clearly been edited. This could mean our children were switched. I'm almost certain. What if it's just a coincidence? Two other women gave birth at the same time. I'm telling you as a doctor, Angela couldn't have given birth to a healthy child as it says here. And you had a healthy baby. That means Angela is raising my son. I'm sure of it. To get him back, we need to go to the police now. It's too early. We don't have 100% proof, but we'll get it. I was afraid to believe in the miracle. Could I really be so close to my goal and soon be able to hug my child? But it wasn't that simple. I had completely forgotten about the dangers my husband had warned me about. At home, an extremely worried Alina was met with another strange surprise. Andri? Andri, wake up! Did you take these pills? Yes, one. My nerves are acting up. My head feels like it's made of cast iron. Good thing I only took one, not two, as it says there. Listen, I need to sleep a bit more. Well, Pavlo Petrovich, one more piece of evidence against you. Now it was clear that all threads led to the chief doctor. With these pills, he wanted to get rid of me. To be absolutely certain that Angela was raising Alina's son, the women had to resort to one more trick. Hello, we've met so many times but never introduced ourselves. I'm Alina. Indeed, it's time to get acquainted. I'm Angela, and this is Mishenka. Mishenka? Yes, Misha is sleeping, the little one. You wouldn't believe it. As soon as we enter the park, he falls asleep right away. At home, you can't calm him down, so we spend whole days walking here. Tell me more about your son. What can I tell you about my son except that he's the best, the most beautiful, and most importantly, that he's healthy? Angela, excuse me. I heard that the child is healthy. I'm very happy about that. Why are you glad? Because you kept me in panic throughout the pregnancy with your diagnoses. No, I'm glad I was wrong with my diagnosis and that everything is good with you. Yes, everything is fine with us. What's going on? Why are you two always following me? You both don't like me. There's no reason to follow me. I was terribly ashamed to treat Angela this way, but we needed the pacifier to do a DNA test and find out if Misha was my son. Without wasting time, the woman headed to the laboratory. Hello, I called you. My name is Shumska. I brought materials for DNA analysis. Shumska Alina Mikolaevna, did you fill out the documents when you submitted your samples? Good. Here are a few more documents. Please fill them out. Halya, this is for you. We need to take material for analysis. Come with me. When can I get the results? In about 2 weeks. Not earlier. We'll call you. Alina couldn't sit still waiting for the DNA test results. Finally, the analyses were ready. The woman arranged a meeting with Natalia to learn the truth together. Oh my God! Oh my God! I can't believe it! As you can see, it's true. I knew and felt that he was my son. Even then, in the maternity hospital, I instinctively rushed to him. A mother's heart doesn't lie. Now we can go to the police. All the evidence is in hand. I need to tell Andri. Now he'll believe me, and together we'll do everything to get our son back. Something's wrong. He's not answering. I don't like this. He had some troubles recently. I'm afraid something might have happened. We need to go to his office. Would you like me to go with you? That would be good. Let's go. On the way, I still hoped that Andri had just turned off his phone because he was busy at work. Alina was in a hurry, but had no idea what trap she was walking into. Stop! Where are you going? Stop! What are you doing? Let her go! Let her go! Stop! Calm down or you'll get what she's getting. Stop! I said stop. At that moment, I realized that Andri was right. Our lives were in danger. I prayed to stay alive for my son's sake. The woman was in panic and was mentally saying goodbye to life, and her fears seemed justified. Move it! Move it! How I cursed myself for not listening to my husband. It became clear that I had been kidnapped to blackmail him. Let me go. Untie me. Shut up. Open up. Open up. Alina, Andre, darling, they got to you after all. Andre, who are these people? What's happening? What do they want from us? I begged you to leave. Then we wouldn't be here. These people are capable of anything. These are the competitors who attacked you. Why didn't you listen to me? I didn't listen. Though I was frightened, I understood that Andre was right. But did I have a choice? The main thing was that I found my son. I needed to collect myself and figure out how to escape. In a short time, Alina managed to calm down and tell her husband the important news. Andre, why are you frozen? Do you hear me? I found our child. Now we definitely need to get out of here. Survive and get out. No, it's impossible. It's simply impossible. Look, the DNA matches. Listen, this is definitely some kind of drug. We need to somehow slip it to them so they pass out. What are you talking about? I can't even listen to this nonsense. You don't even understand that we're done for. My husband's hysteria was killing me. It seemed like he had completely given up and accepted that we would die. But I had very compelling reasons to stay alive. Alina's husband was behaving more and more strangely, but the biggest surprises were yet to come. Calm down and don't fidget. Andre, what's wrong with you? If it weren't for you, everything would be fine. Why didn't you listen to me, you idiot? I got evidence that my son was alive, but I was kidnapped along with my husband. Who was involved in the kidnapping of the Shumsky couple? Would the woman be able to get her child back? Andre, what's wrong with you? If it weren't for you, everything would be fine. Why didn't you listen to me, you idiot? What does this have to do with everything being fine? What do I have to do with it? Hey, hero, don't blame everything on your woman. If you'd acted like a man, did what you were told, everything would have been smooth. And now what? We need to get rid of witnesses. Don't kill us, please. I beg you, don't kill us. I swear to you, we'll keep quiet. It's too late. Your woman ruined everything. She couldn't sit still. Put your hands down, I said. I recognized Angela's voice. There was a small but real hope of survival. Perhaps this thug wouldn't kill us in front of his wife. The woman wasn't mistaken. It was Angela. But who had the gangster's wife come to save? Snake! I know everything. Angela, darling, I'm trying for you. For your happiness. Happiness? So this is how you imagine happiness. You know I wanted a child. I couldn't let you suffer because a second child didn't survive. So you bought a child? And what was I supposed to do? This idiot Andre ran after me, begging me to do this. What? Andre sold you our son? Get rid of her, someone. Wait, we're leaving. I had never heard anything more terrifying in my life. I simply refused to believe my ears. I needed to hear the truth from Andre himself. What was that? Tell me it's a lie. No, it's the truth, but you have to listen to me. I can't believe it. You sold our child? How could you? I got involved in a business with that thug and lost a huge amount of money. This Sergey himself suggested it when he found out that you and his wife were at the same stage of pregnancy. And you agreed to sell your son? I agreed. What was I supposed to do? In your opinion? That monster would have killed me back then if I hadn't agreed. He's not the monster. You're the monster. It would have been better if he had really killed you. Help! Help! We're here! Help! As it turned out, Natalia had not only found Angela, but also called the police, who arrested the gangsters and my husband. Alina was devastated. She was left alone with all her troubles. The investigation of her husband, Angela's husband, and the chief doctor, who was also involved in the scheme, continued. The woman didn't know what was happening with her child. May I come in? Come in. Take me, Shenka. Son, little son, my son. I decided he should be with you. Why wait for the court's decision? I know he's not my son. Mishenka, I know why I don't have children. It's all because of my husband. He's cursed for all the evil he's done to people. If you knew how much blood is on his hands. Angela, I don't even know what to say to you. I can only sympathize. I can't imagine how you lived with him for so many years. Now, I can't imagine it either. I understand even less what to do next. I left him, but I have nowhere to go. Well, I'll think of something. Tell me, could I sometimes? No, that's not necessary. Not for you, not for him. Excuse me. Wait, you really have nowhere to go? Then you're not going anywhere. Stay. You gave me the most precious thing. How can I throw you out on the street? Who better than me knows what it's like to be left without a child? This woman didn't deserve such misfortunes. Of course, I offered her to stay, not permanently. What's next? Life will put everything in its place. The main thing is that my son is now with me.